Before I asked a single question, I could already guess that some of her pain was coming from her hip and not her back. I'm gonna walk you exactly through what I saw and why it changes everything about how we treat. Here's what most people don't realize about a high-quality PT evaluation. The clinical impression starts before the intake form, before the movement screen, before the question. The moment you walk through the door, a trained eye is already working. Gait tells us an enormous amount in the first few seconds. Where is the foot striking? Is there a lateral trunk lean on one side? Is there a reduced arm swing on the right, which often reflects a restriction on the left side of the thoracic spine? In this patient's case, she walked in with a subtle Trendelenburg sign on the right. Her pelvis was dropping on the left with every step, and that's a hip abductor problem, not a lumbar problem. And I hadn't asked her anything yet. When patients sit, I'm watching how they load the chair. Do they favor one side? Do they grip something or lower themselves? Do they immediately shift to avoid a position? Protective posturing and rest tells us where the pain actually is versus where the patient thinks it is. These aren't the same thing, and the gap between them is often where the real diagnosis lives. When someone tells me where it hurts, I watch where they point. A patient who says lower back pain and puts their hand on their SI joint is describing something very different from someone who puts their hand directly on their lumbar paraspinal. Pain maps are real. They narrow the difference immediately. None of this is magic. It's pattern recognition built through thousands of evaluations. And it means by the time we get to your formal movement screen, we already have a working hypothesis. The eval is confirming and refining, not starting from scratch. That's why the first session at Propel feels different, because it is. Your eval at Propel starts the moment you walk in. And that matters because the more we see, the faster we find the source. Link in bio.